Alright, Shalom. This is Officer Parasha out of the I.S.U.P.K UK. As you know, we have classes twice a week, and today is the Saturday class. So, before we get into the law and then the topic of the class, has anybody got any questions online or in the class? Okay, then we're going to read a chapter of the law first. Then we're going to get into the topic, which is interracial relationships are against the Lord. But first, of course, we're going to read out the law. So Deuteronomy chapter 11, we're going to read through that and then break it down as we go on as well.
Deuteronomy 11:1. Therefore thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge and his statutes and his judgments and his commandments always.
Yeah, so to love the Most High is to keep his charge and his statutes and his judgments and his commandments always. Now, what scripture could you use to go with this? It's in 1 John.
Oh, the love of God. 1 John 3.
That's right. So to love the Most High, like it's in 1 John 5:3. Deuteronomy 11:1 will be a priest's code that show you that loving the Most High is to keep the commandments. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children which I have not known, and with and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm.
So now at this time, of course, the Israelites, they was in the wilderness. So he's let them know, I haven't spoken to your children that have not seen or don't know. You know what I mean? With that generation, they had seen the miraculous works of the Most High. So now he's let them know, you have seen this. You have seen the power that I have and what I can do. Verse 3.
Verse 3. And his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, and Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. Verse 4. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord has destroyed them unto this day.
Yeah, so that generation, they seen the acts of the Most High. They seen how he had drowned Pharaoh in the Red Sea. So now this generation, they know the works of the Most High. So he's not saying to like another generation which don't know. Like for instance, us, we read about it, but we didn't actually see it. So now with them, they had actually seen the works. So he's telling them, to basically to love the Most High is to keep the commandments, and you should, because you've seen what I've done for you. I'm not speaking to a generation that basically don't know. I'm speaking to a generation that does know, and they've seen my works with their eyes. Read on.
Verse 5. And what he did unto you in the wilderness, until ye came into this place, and what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the sons of Reuben, how he opened her mouth and swallowed them, and their households, and their tents, and all their substance that was in their possession in the midst of Israel.
So now, does anyone know what he's talking about here? What the Most High?
The brothers that rose against Moses.
That's right. So in your own time, if you were to read Numbers chapter 16, you know, some people, they rebelled and they were like, you're doing all the work. The Most High ain't only just working with you. And then basically they had a standoff, and the standoff was basically, now, they had a censor, and with like those other people, they had a sense as well, and said that the one who the Most High is with, he will be with us and like not with them. And of course, as what we read right there, the earth swallowed them up, which means that what the Most High was not with them. So you mean with that generation, they're also seeing that of the Most High too. Read on.
Verse 7. But your eyes have seen all the great works of the Lord, great acts of the Lord, which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong.
And there it's like, And that's another benefit of keeping the commandments, that us as a people, we become strong, strong mentally, strong spiritually, and also stronger in the unity as well. Because this is what these commandments does. As what Yahushua said, there's two great commandments: to love the Lord thy God and to love thy neighbor as yourself. Now, of course, that means all the commandments in the Bible, ones that pertain to what you do to serve the Most High, and the other commandments which pertain to you loving your brother. So, our people keeping these commandments, this will make us become strong. As you can see, our people don't keep it, and we're weak. We're underneath everyone, no power, no might in our hand. There ain't no unity against us. So it's clear that if we were to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, we will be strong in every way possible. Reader.
That you may be strong and go in and possess the land, whither you go to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. Verse 10, for the land whither thou goest in to possess is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed and waterest it with thy foot as a garden of herbs.
So now he let us know, with the Egyptians' land, the land of Canaan, which they called it at the time, it's not like the Egyptians' land where when you want to plant a seed in the ground, you have to basically put water in there, like with your foot. You have to stamp down on the seed to basically get some crops to grow. Because for those that don't know, the northern part of Africa, you got the Sahara desert there, and it's very desert land. Ain't a lot really can't grow there. So now the land that we was going to get is not like their land, because you got many people that talk about, you know, Egypt is so great, the best Africa this, but really a lot of Africa, although it has got some good resources there, some people over exaggerate it. But now the God of the Bible, the God that created the earth, he's letting us know that the land that we're gonna get is not like their land, but basically you have to plant everything. Read on.
Verse 12.
Verse 11.
Verse 11. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven.
So now, unlike that land where it's a lot of sand and dust, and you have to plant everything or you won't get anything, our land has hills and valleys, which what everything is planted there already. All what needs to happen is rain. That's all what you need. So that's what God's let us know, that this land is better than that land. Little people love Egypt, know that, but our land's better than theirs, because with theirs, nothing will hardly grow there unless they got to manually plant it. But with the land that we got, all of it's there. All what we need is just the rain. Everyone understands?
Correct.
All right, read on.
Verse 12. A land which the Lord thy God careth for, the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year.
And this is a land that the Most High likes, meaning his eyes are always upon it, meaning he watches over that land. So we didn't get any land like everybody else. We got the land that the Lord cares about. Read on.
Verse 13. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandment, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, then I will give you the rain of your land in due season.
So now he's letting them know, although I'm going to bring you in the land, if you keep my commandments, I will give you rain. So now the Most High has the ability to also hold back rain. So he's letting them know, just because the land is great, if you don't follow my commandments in that land, I will take the rain from you. Read on.
The first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thy oil. And I will set grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them.
So now he's letting know, take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. So now, when we get in the land, he's letting them know, take heed to yourself, meaning watch yourself. Don't get in the land and get blessed. The corn's growing nice. Your cattle has enough grass to eat. And then in your mind, you get deceived that this ain't the Most High. And then you start to go and turn aside and start to serve another god. Does anyone know a precept for this?
Just where wax fat.
That's right. So when that's Deuteronomy 32 and I think 39 about when Jeshurun waxed back, he kicked. So that's what happened. We got in the land, things got good. You know what happened? They started to deceive themselves and serve other gods. So he was letting them know here that the land's good, but don't get big headed and think, well, you know, it's me and it's not the Most High, and then turn aside and worship Baal, worship Astaroth, or worship anything else. We got, what was that? Verse 17.
Verse 17. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, unless ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you.
Yes, so now he's saying, if you like, don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High. You know what he's saying is like,
yeah.
Now, verse 17 saying that when you're getting blessed in the land and you don't serve the Most High, the wrath of the Lord is going to be kindled against you, and he will shut up heaven. Now we know heaven is sky in this context, that there be no rain, that the land yield not her fruit. So then nothing in the land won't grow because our people ain't obeying the Most High, unless you perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord thy God is giveth you. So if you can't eat, then your kids can't eat, and then eventually people die. So now it's saying that, you know, if we don't follow him, then he'll basically cut back those blessings from us in the land. Verse 18.
Verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up the words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them. Verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart.
Now we are according to the Bible, your heart is your mind. So all these commandments, lay all these commandments in your mind, meaning what? Don't forget them, because when you get this land and you don't serve the Most High, he's going to cut all these blessings back. So it's telling you, for you to only get blessed, is for you to do these commandments. So always keep these commandments in your mind. Read on.
And bind them for a sign upon your hand.
And bind them for a sign upon your hand. What does that mean? Does it literally mean wrap something around your hand? No, it means bind for a sign upon your hand, meaning anything you do, make sure it's right according to the commandments. So your hands are what you physically do. So make sure everything you're doing is right according to the commandments. Read them.
That they may be frontlets between your eyes.
Frontlets between your eyes. Now, between your eyes is right here. What does that mean in a basic form of understanding? Meaning always keep the laws in your mind. So everything you see, everything that comes to mind is righteous, and it's all about the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what
that's you know the mark of the beast at chip, because here it's saying put the commandments in your hand and in your forehead.
That's right.
So I mean, so why would, on the flip side, why would the mark of the beast the same thing, something in your mind and something in your hand that you do, but on the negative side?
That's right. So I mean, yeah, that would be a good precept to show you that the mark of the beast ain't no RFID, microchip, and all that stuff. Because we're reading this and we know what it means by frontlets on your hands, like frontlets to your eyes, and something around your hands, and we know it ain't a literal thing. So you can't get to Revelations and all of a sudden it's a literal chip. So that's a good point too. Verse 19.
Verse 19. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house.
Now, this is another commandment that your kids, they also need to learn the commandments of God. So when they're in the house, nothing wrong with your kids playing the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or any entertainment they have. But also in a family, there must be time where you also teach your kids these commandments. But the context of this was really that in the land, so that our people always be blessed, you should always teach your kids the commandments too. Read on.
And when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt write them upon thy doorposts of thine house, and
the commandments around you, write them on your doorposts in your house. Now, obviously, some of us we live in a council house where you even knock down a wall and they're unaware of it. You can get fined. So don't go, basically don't go damaging a house that isn't yours. But if you can, on your fridge, have the 10 Commandments there, or you know what I mean. Obviously, in your kitchen, have the dietary laws. You know what I mean. Basically, anything in your house, and there's certain laws that pertain to that. You know what I mean. Anything wrong with having them laws on the wall or anything, but don't be carving things into the bricks, because you know what I mean. A lot of us rent houses, so the house ain't yours. So be careful what you do in the house. Read on.
verse 21, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children.
And when we keep the commandments, our days are multiplied, meaning we have a long life. Now, as you can see, many kids now are dying young, 21, 25, but haven't even experienced life yet. So now the solution for that is for us to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
In the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Verse 22, for if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments, which I command you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves.
Yeah, so if we were to serve the Most High, when we would have got in the land, all the Jebusites, Hittites, Canaanites, they would have been completely driven out of the land. But because we didn't follow, in the time of Joshua, we got out so much, but they were still in the land. And also, they was greater, meaning that there was a lot much more of them, and they was mightier. Because like with all these families, there was family of what we would call today Africans, and Africans can get really big, so there was mightier. Some of them 6'8", bro, like and wardrobe and all that. So these guys really big, so they was actually mightier than us. But it was the Most High that it was Him that fought for us. Read on.
Verse 24, every place whereon thy sole of thy feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness of Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost parts, Sakya, even to the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread, Sakya, and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon.
So if we were to serve the Most High, any land that we tread upon, and to tread is to walk. Basically, anyone would be a parade of us. The sea go, oh gosh, those Jews are coming. And even today, anywhere we go, so we used to have camp in London, Brixton. People are afraid, and not because of us. It's because we serve the Most High. As an example, read on.
As he said unto you, 26, behold, I have set before you this day blessings and a curse.
So now everything we read, this is a blessing and a curse. So when you get in the land, you'll be blessed. You follow the commandments. Your animals to eat, you can eat. You know what I mean? The land, it will benefit you. Read on.
Verse 27, blessing if ye obey the commandment of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandment of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way I commanded you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
Yeah, so how we get the curse if we turn away and serve other gods, and by doing that, of course, you're breaking a commandment. Now, the rest of the law is talking about, when they get in the land, what they should do. So the last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 4 verses you can read in your time. So now, does everyone understand that? Was there anything anyone needed to go over out of that? Is there any question online or anyone?
Not yet.
Okay, no sweat. All right. So now the topic we're gonna get into is interracial relationships. I don't know if some of you are aware of it. There was an article where a man, he told his friend to call his wife, telling that he was kidnapped, and really he wasn't actually kidnapped. He was basically going seeing one white girl somewhere else. So he told his wife and kids that he's kidnapped, and his wife was afraid. But then I don't know how, but his wife found out, and then when he came home, she called the police on him, and you claim to be kidnapped and you're not. Is a crime because you're actually wasting police time because obviously police are looking for him. So he might be doing some time over that. Now he risks all that, leaving his black wife and his kids to basically go mess with a white girl just for some time. And he risks all that. So now the topic is that interracial relationships are against the Lord. Now that man, he would not be in that situation if he would have, be following these commandments. He should not be messing with a white girl to begin with. Now I'm using the white girl as an example, but that means anyone, Indians, Polynesians, or you mean any so-called ethnic group, our people should not be with. So now some people may look at interracial dating as it's a sin, but it's not as bad as other sins. So if you could give me Deuteronomy 25 and 16.
Deuteronomy 25 and 16. For all that do such things and all that do unrighteously are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Yeah, so all that do unrighteously are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. So any sin is wrong, not just the ones that you think are bad or well, you know what I mean? I don't see as a bad thing. All sin and people do are an abomination unto the Lord thy God, including interracial dating too. Now, in the Bible, it has law, statutes, and commandments, and there is a law against interracial dating. Give me Deuteronomy 7th chapter and verse 3.
Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
So now, for you to get married to someone, according to the Bible, that would take sexual intercourse. Now, many of us growing up in these times, we think to make someone your wife, you gotta wear all white, walk down the aisle, put a ring on their hand. But according to the Bible, that is not how you marry somebody to make somebody become your wife. Hold that. Give me Genesis 24 and 64. So this is just a quick preset to show you how a man makes a woman become his wife, so that when we go back to Deuteronomy, you understand what it is on about. So that Genesis 24 and 64.
God. Genesis 24:64. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and she saw Isaac, and lighted up her camel.
So now, when Rebekah saw Isaac, she saw him and she lighted up her camel, meaning she quickly jumped off the camel. So she must have seen him, and he must have been a very handsome man. She seen him like, yeah, I am wanting him too. Read on.
65. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all the things that she had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
And she became his what?
And she became his wife.
So now, we're not kids. If a man takes a woman in a tent and she became his wife, then common sense, we know what happened in that tent. So once he did that, she became his wife. So once a man sleeps with a woman, that's how she becomes your wife. So now when we go back to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, verse 3, you can then read that.
Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Now the them is the other people. So if you're not an Israelite, then you should not be making a marriage with them. Meaning you shouldn't be sleeping with anyone that is outside of the 12 tribes. You should not be doing that. Read on.
Thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy son.
So now, if you got a daughter, you shouldn't hand it to a so-called white man, Indian, or anything like that. And if you have a son, and then you should not be taking any of their daughters for your son too. So God is not with interracial relationships. Read on.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Now, when you read the Bible, many laws, statutes, and commandments, it just says don't do it, it's wrong. But now with this one, it's even giving you an explanation, and it's saying, for they will turn away thy son from following me. And we can see that today, never saw a man, he will get with a white, Chinese, or Indian woman. He ends up following the culture of them. They don't end up following the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible. He ends up following Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, the Year of the Rat, or whatever other things that they have. If anything, he ends up going down like their path and like their religion.
Yeah, the picture of Kanye West like having a dinner with the whole Kardashian family. Like you didn't see Kim Kardashian around his family, you saw him around their family. It's like,
which is a good example. He's supposed to be the man. She's supposed to be following him, but in interracial relationships, for some reason with us, we end up following them, which was a good example. She's not with his family, but he's with hers. We done.
That they may serve other gods, so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
And then by doing that, the anger of the Lord is kindled against us. So that what does that mean? The Most High is angry with you, kindled against you, and destroy thee. And then now that destruction could be AIDS. Getting hit by a bus. So by you doing things like that, the Most High won't be on your side. And of course, we want the Most High on our side. So don't be looking at a so-called white woman in a lustful way. Of course, we got jobs and you have to talk to people. That's not what this is on about. It's talking about, you want a relationship with them. You want to sleep with one of them. According to the Bible, that is wrong and it's against the commandments. So now, let's give an example of when they had got away the other people and their heart turned away from the Most High. Let's get Judges chapter 3 and verse 6.
The book of Judges 3 verse 6.
Oh, sorry. Now, for those that haven't read the book of Judges before the book of Judges is the book of Joshua. So now, once they got the commandment not to be with anyone else except their own, in the time of Joshua, they got in the land, conquered some of the Canaanites, Jebusites. Now, the book of Judges is after Joshua died. Just for those that ain't familiar with these books, Judges chapter 3 and verse 6.
Judges 3 verse 6. And they took their daughters to be wives and gave their daughters to their sons and served their gods.
They did what?
And served their gods.
Now, we read in Deuteronomy that basically if you do that, you're going to end up serving their gods. And that's what they did. Once they got in the land and Joshua died, our people began to stray away from the commandments. And we did exactly what the Lord commanded us not to do. Next verse.
Verse 7. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of their Lord and forgot the Lord their God and served Balaam and the groves.
And then that's what happened. So when it said that, if you get with any of them, that would turn your heart away and you will serve their God. It happened and they forgot the Lord, meaning those that was in so-called interracial relationships, they forgot the Most High was serving Balaam and the groves, which are the gods of the Canaanites, Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites. So once they had started mixing with them, you can see what happened. So the Most High does know what he's on about, because some people may say, well, I may get with a white girl, but she ain't gonna turn me from the Most High. Well, I'm sure in time of Judges, they was probably thinking the same thing too. They seen a nice Canaanite woman, and eventually they ended up serving Balaam. So don't have that mindset. If the Most High says you can't do it, you just can't do it. So now again, this is one example. Let's get another example. The greatest king, the wisest king under earth. First Kings 11 and 1. So King Solomon, of course, he was a wise king. Now let's see if he could resist it. Let's see if he got with other people, and you know what I mean, he could fight it, and then he went straight from the commandments of the Most High.
1 Kings 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
He did what?
Loves many strange women.
So now a strange woman is a woman that is not of your kindred. So you know, anyone that's not from the 12 tribes, they will be classed as a strange person because they're not of us. You done?
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Amorites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
So now these are some of the women that he was with. So now it's mentioning Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonianites. So some of these from Ham, the Moabites, Chinese, Ammonites, Japanese. So now he was with a lot of different ethnic groups. Read on.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you.
So now that's even stating the commandment that we just read at the beginning. You don't go into them, they don't go in unto you. So you don't take none of their daughters for your son, and you don't give none of your daughters unto their sons. So now it's even stating the law. So what he did was wrong. Read on.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love.
Yeah, so it's stating the law. Then it's saying Solomon clave unto them in love. So with Solomon, he was in love with them. Read on.
Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
So now, as we know, he was with Amorites, Zidonianites. So outside of all the people around him, he took a lot of their women to be his wives, and that turned his heart away from the Most High. Why? Because that law says, surely you'll be following their God. So by being around them so much, seeing them worship Baal, Ashtaroth, Kamash, that bit by bit ended up turning him away from the Most High. Verse 4.
Verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, and was the heart of as was the heart of David his father.
Yeah, so when he was around all these wives, his heart, meaning his mind, turned away after other gods. So what does that mean? He started to serve other gods. Now with King David, he only served the Most High. So now he messed up what he was with them, and then eventually he started to follow their gods, as that law says. Read on.
Verse 5. For Solomon went after Asherah, the goddess of the Zidonians.
So now this god Ashtaroth, if you look it up, it's like a god with like lots of breasts all around and mean that she feeds other gods. So now this was a god of the Zidonians, which was a family of Africans. Read on.
And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
And with Milcom, that was a god of the Amorites, of the Ammonites at that time, which is another family, which would be the so-called Japanese of today. Read on.
Verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. Verse 7. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab.
So now he was in love with them so much that he built a high place for that god, and 9 times out of 10 he's done it for his wife. You know, his wife probably begging him, or you know, after he has select with his wife, she probably like, you know, can you make him that for us? And him being in love, like, yeah. Now his heart turned away. Now King Solomon's the wisest man, and he has lots of wives. So if this made him fall, anyone watching this, what makes you think that you can't fall as well? But anyway, continue reading.
In the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech the abomination of the children of Ammon.
Read on.
Verse 8, and likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burn incense and sacrifice unto their gods.
So now, in verse above, it's giving you two examples, but then in verse 8, it's saying, and likewise did he for all his strange wives, meaning every wife he had, he built something for them. So any god which they was worshiping, he had made something for them. So he didn't just do it just for those two. Every wife was an Ammonite, Moabite, Jebusite, Edomite. He made something for every single one of them. Verse 9.
Verse 9, and the Lord was very angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which he had appeared unto him twice. And he had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
There, so the Most High warned him about this, but he did not keep what he commanded. So now these scriptures here, it shows you that someone being in a so-called interracial relationship wrong. Now, if you're coming into the I.S.U.P.K and you may be a product of an interracial relationship, we know according to the Bible, you are the seed of your dad. So if your dad's a so-called black or Hispanic man, then you're an Israelite. So don't be watching this thinking, well, what about me? We can also show you that in the Bible as well. From there, give me Nehemiah 13 and verse 23. Nehemiah 13 and 23. So now, for those that haven't read the book of Nehemiah before, this is after the Babylonians had us in slavery and we're coming back in the land. So now, what he's going to explain, he's talking about King Solomon as well. And he's going to also expound on it, because when they got back in the land, our people started to do the same thing again, which was interracial relationships. So now he's going to explain to them and give a bit of a history class. Nehemiah 13 and 23.
Nehemiah 13, 23. In those days also I saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab.
So now, when they was coming back and he was building the walls of Jerusalem, for those that haven't read the book before, he had to go back to Persia because he really was a slave. Well, he asked of the king if he can go back and help the Jews build the wall. So he went, then he came back and he's saying, in those days I saw Jews. So now when he came back, he saw our people having interracial relationships with the Ammonites, people of Ashdod. So now continue reading. Verse 24.
24. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
So now this got him upset. Like, he sees them and they can't speak the Jews' language, which is the Hebrew language, but they speak the language, the Ammonite language. So like every language of the people that was round about them, they could speak that, but not the language which they're supposed to speak because they're Jews. We don't.
But according to the language of each people. Verse 25. And I contend with them.
So it's like, does anyone know what contend means?
Go back and forth, argue.
I could argue. So now he's upset. So now, if you contend with someone, you're not happy, you're upset. So what he's seeing ain't right, because he's a man of God following the laws, and he's upset. So he's contending with them, meaning he's having a strong disagreement with them, going back and forth. Read on.
And curse them.
And curse them. To curse is to wish something bad upon someone, like, I hope to God you get hit by a car. So you know what I mean? It's not right to do that. He was wrong for doing that, but he was upset. So no one is saying it's okay to curse people. Read on.
And smote certain of them.
So meaning he slapped some of them as well. So smoke can mean punch or slap. So either way, he struck some of them. Read on.
And plucked off their hair.
So now he even plucks off their hair. So the hair on their head, we show that it's a very strong man because to pull up someone's hair takes strength, believe it or not. So he even pulled off the hair of their head. Read on.
And made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons.
So where did he get this part from?
Deuteronomy.
He got it from the law. So as he slapped some of them and he plucked off their hair, he made them swear, and then he gave them the law. So he's making them recite that law. So what they were doing was wrong. So he didn't know what he's doing. So he got a bit physical with them, but it was making him swear that, like, don't ever break this law ever again. Verse 26.
Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
He did what?
Sin by these things.
So him marrying all those other strange wives, it was a sin. King Solomon sinned by this. So interracial relationships is a sin. We done?
Sin by these things. Yet among many nations were there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
To saying even him, because he had it all. He was rich. He could have any Israelite woman that he wanted. If she hasn't got a man already, of course. So he had everything, and even a outlandish woman caused him to sin. So he's using King Solomon as an example, going, look, what you lot are doing is wrong, and even one of the greatest kings that we had, that caused him to sin too. Verse 27.
Verse 27. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil?
To do what?
To do all this great evil.
Interracial dating is what?
Great evil.
It's a great evil. Now these are our words. This is out the Bible, the same Bible you can buy at Waterstones, W.H. Smith's. It's a Bible that you can buy anywhere. Read on.
To trespass against our God in marrying strange wives.
So you transgress against your God in marrying a strange wife, and that's like the Bible in verse 28.
Verse 28. And one of the sons of Joadah, the son of Eliashib, the high priest, was son-in-law of Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore, I chased him from me.
Yeah, so one of them that was in an interracial relationship was a priest who spoke the law, and he done it, and then he basically chased him. So this is that he was very upset, and that also he's very intimidating because no one will run from him. Anybody, for you to chase one away, you gotta be big and intimidating. So with this man, he also took part in it, and that got him upset, and then he even chased him away from him. And he was a man of God following the laws, and he spoke on this, and he's letting us know that this is wrong. Right from there, now we've read a few scriptures, but now as time went on, although King Solomon had sinned, for those that don't know, if you read the book of Proverbs, he's talking about his experiences which he has. So now let's see what it says about interracial relationships as time went on. Let's get Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1.
Proverbs 5 and 1. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding.
Now, King Solomon is saying, attend unto his wisdom, and bow down your ear to his understanding. So now he wants you to pay attention to what he's about to say. Read on. And also, so now, King Solomon being the wisest man, he's going to give us some instruction. So, every black man, every Hispanic man, why not listen to a wise king? Like, why have to go through things, or you can read about it from someone's experience, and then you know what to do and what not to do. So, so it's also good to listen to what the prophets say in the Bible and understand if they're saying it's wrong and it don't work, then instead of you having to go through it and waste your time, just listen to the wise men of God, and then you will avoid these things. When you get that Proverbs 5, verse 2 now, was it?
Proverbs 5 and 2, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil.
So what is King Solomon trying to let us understand here?
That strange women are very seductive, or
Yeah, they fella, like I mean, in your spare time, if you go onto YouTube, you know, it's kind of a bit upsetting, but some people, they always put up blogs everywhere. They always put up blogs about, you know, why I don't date black women and stuff like that. And one guy, like, what he was saying was, oh, we like white girls. They tell me what I like to hear. They say my skin's brown like dark chocolate and all that, and like they're saying that let's hear all that. And this is what the Bible's telling you: for the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb and are smoother than oil. So they say a lot of smooth stuff. Oh, you're handsome. Oh, you're black skin. Oh, you know, and I know that stuff. I mean, you know what I mean? They're gonna say stuff which basically they're trying to flatter you and they're trying to sweeten you up. So now King Solomon, he's letting you know that you know they're very seductive in how they talk. Some people may have jobs where you know the so-called white woman or Indian woman or anything is trying to flirt with them. So how they are, they're very seductive in their way. Then verse 4, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. So although she's seductive and it sounds very nice, the end of this ain't good. For those that don't know, wormwood is water that's very bitter. So based on now, a rotten piece of wood that would be classed as wormwood, and sharp as a two-edged sword. So meaning the end of it is very bad. An example is you may get with this so-called white woman, Indian woman, or of any other ethnic group that may be out there, and first she charms you, she's with you, but then once basically you two may have a divorce, she gets everything, then you know you don't have enough to even support yourself, or you know what I mean, she destroys your reputation or anything that you have. So the end of it can end up being really bad. Verse 5.
Verse 5, her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell,
Mm-hmm.
lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Let her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them.
So now King Solomon is saying, lest you know the path of life, and we know the path of life is the law, statutes, and commandments. Her ways are movable, so mean that you can get away from her if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and that thou canst not know them. So now, if you're in the Bible following the law, statutes, and commandments, when that so-called white woman comes up to you, those smooth words, you will understand. Nah, you know what I mean? I've read this in the Bible. I know what she's trying to do, and also I know the end result of this too. Read on.
Hear, verse 7, hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth.
So now have in mind, he's a king and he's been through this already. He's dating Edomite women, Zidonian women, and he's saying, don't even entertain that. Stay away from it. You ponder on the path of life that you don't have to go through any of this. Verse 8.
Verse 8, remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house.
So remove thy way far from her. So when they're trying to seduce you, drop those nice words. I like that black skin. Ooh, I know that stuff. I mean, you just stay away from all of that. Remove thy way, and what's the other part say? And come not nigh near the door of her house. So if they end up calling you about, you know, you want to come to mine, drink some wine or something, don't even entertain that. King Solomon, who's been through this, he's telling you that, you know, don't even entertain that. Stay away from it. No matter how much they try to flirt with you, know that you ponder on the path of life. Now, it would be wise if you basically heard these words and you going through this, and then you have to suffer the punishments. Verse 9.
Verse 9, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel.
And that's another thing with interracial relationships. Your honor, meaning your respect, it goes on to other people. For instance, if you date a white girl, you start to love white people. You date an Indian woman, you start to love Indian people, talking about Guru Nanak and all that stuff, and Vishta and all that. You know what I mean? Your respect starts to go onto them. You start to look up to them like as if they're the chosen people of God. So that's what happens. Your honor goes onto another, and thy years onto the cruel. So meaning you waste years of your life with the people that don't even care about you anyway. Because for those that don't know, 70% of interracial relationships end up in divorce. So people think, well, everyone's mixing, it's the brand new way of life. It don't work, or why is it over half of them end up in a divorce and your years end up wasted with the cruel? But hold on, verse 9 about that. Give me Baruch chapter 4 and verse 3. So, about giving that unto another. Baruch 4 and 3 also gets into some of that too.
Baruch 4 and 3.
So what's the link? Yeah, Baruch 4 and 3.
Baruch 4 and 3. Give not thine honor to another.
What did the Bible say?
Give not thine honor to another.
And there, give not your respect unto another. There are many interracial relationships. The so-called black man, Hispanic man, or even the so-called black woman and Hispanic woman, their respect goes unto them. They care about their people and not their own. Read on.
Nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
So what things are profitable unto us?
Money, maybe.
Of gain, yeah, that's one thing.
So like people like Eddie Murphy and stuff, that white woman, like all that good money they have is leaving the black community. But like, whereas a poor black woman could have got that money, could have lived wealthy with him in his mansion, he's giving it to a white woman. So his money, all his hard-earned money went out of the black community and went to somebody else. So they're rich anyway, they got their own money, and they got black money also. So that money could have helped a black sister that lives in the ghetto or suffering or so forth.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. So that goes with verse 3. Know the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. So you should not be giving things that are of a benefit unto us, unto somebody else. And a basic one is that so-called black man and then Hispanic man, our people, and we are strong, and he's there fighting for her. So, for instance, if she was to walk down the street, a man was to touch her in the wrong way, he's going to defend her. But meanwhile, he could be defending his own. That man is profitable unto us. Every black man and Hispanic man, they're meant to be fighting for their own, but you're fighting everyone else's cause because you're with everybody else. Everyone understands?
Can't.
All right, verse 4.
Verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us.
And there, we should be happy as a people because we got the law, statutes, and commandments. So knowing your identity, knowing what you have, it is an important thing, because if you don't know, you see the results of it, you start to worship everybody else. And what is profitable unto us, it goes on to everybody else. And I mean, this example about the man, even the females as well. A black woman is a very caring woman. She can, if for instance, if she's with a man that is not really strong, she can, use those flattering words to make that man stronger, to make him go out there, make him change the weak ways that like him he may be. But now, if you're giving that unto a white man, if you're making the white man feel strong mentally and all that, then what good is that? You're giving that unto somebody else, and them things are profitable unto us.
Yeah, like black women that have black men usually are mean, but when they have a white man, there's someone else, totally different, nice, caring, and a black man should get that nice, caring spirit. You know what I mean? It will help our nation, but we don't give it to our own, give it to other people.
That's right. She like with black man who's lazy. This, but a white woman with a white man, they become very under his control, and they don't really argue back, and things that we get, he probably doesn't even understand what we even got. because they don't treat him the same way. Now that is profitable unto us, but it's going to somebody else. From there, give me Ecclesiasticus 26 and 19.
Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers.
Again, strangers. So now, King Solomon says, don't give your honor unto strangers. Baruch saying, don't give your honor unto strangers. Now, even in Ecclesiasticus, Jesus, the son of Sirach, he's saying the same thing too. My son, keep the flower of thy age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. So anyone that's not of your people, don't give your strength unto them. Meaning what? If you're in an interracial relationship, you're obviously trying to have a house with them. You're working hard, trying to, you know what I mean, build a relationship, have a house, have a very good way of life. So now, by you doing that with her, with that white woman, with that Arab woman, you're giving your strength unto a stranger. That strength and that effort that you're putting in, that should be with a woman of your own people. If everyone understands. Right, read on.
Verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
So, does anyone understand what verse 20 is talking about?
When you get a woman of your own people,
yeah, that's it. It's using it as an analogy. So, fruitful possession is your woman that you can have lots of kids with. Sow it with thy own seed. Sow it with thine own seed. So you sleep with her. Don't be going to anybody else. Read on.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
And you see now, this shows the reason why people interracial date, because this scripture saying you have it with your own, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So you sleep with your own people because you like the goodness of your stuff. You're comfortable in your skin. You know what I mean? Now, people that don't, you realize they have a little, they're not very comfortable in their own skin. They don't like their hair or their nose. So that's why they want to go with a white girl or a white man, because they don't trust in the goodness of their stock. They don't believe their stock, meaning their people, anything good comes from that. Don't understand? Like verse 21.
Verse 21. So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
So once you die, the race which thou leave shall be magnified, meaning they will be good. Read on.
Having the confidence of their good descent.
And they have confidence in their good descent. So they're comfortable in who they are, where they come from. Just like us, we are comfortable knowing that we're from the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I mean? We are the chosen people of God. So we are confident in our descent. As happens, many people that are results of interracial relationships, they're very confused. They don't know the goodness of their descent. You're around white people eating bangers and mash, going into the pub. Then you're around the black side of the family eating, rice, peas, chicken, ackee, callaloo. And then, they're talking one way and they become very confused and they're not very confident in their descent. So it becomes that bad that they don't want to be black or white. They try to make up their own little categories. Why? Because they're not confident in their descent. Why? Because their parents, they was in a so-called interracial relationship. So by you sticking with your own, your kids will be confident in their descent, and that confusion, it won't be around if everyone's with me.
Sure.
All right. So now from there, go back to Proverbs 5 and 9 with you.
Proverbs 5 and 9. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel.
Mm-hmm.
Lest thou give thine honor, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth.
Let strangers be what?
Filled with thy wealth.
As what happens, many end results of interracial relationships are divorce, and the stranger, she gets filled with his wealth. She's living rich off him, when you see her 10 years time coming up a nice car, wearing the newest gown and all that, that's from him. So now them having all of that wealth, and that wealth could have went to helping fellow blacks and Hispanics. Read on.
And thy labors be in the house of strangers.
And thy labors mean everything you work for is in the house of a stranger. Because one thing you realize is many times a white woman may get with so-called black man. Once they break up, she goes back to a white man anyway. And then now that stranger, he's got half of the money too because she's with him. And then they're living good off his wealth. And them labors are in his house. I mean, anything that you've worked hard for, that goes back to them. Now, relating this back to King Solomon, he's talking about his experience. So when he built the houses to all of those gods, all that work is in their house, all that money, even though he was rich, you know what I mean? He could have had more, but he ended up wasting it on them, making them groves and temples. So like he's giving his example. Read on.
Verse 11, and thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof.
So now he's telling you, if you want to do all this, you only get the end result, and you're going to say, and how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof. So that's what's going to happen. So anyone that doesn't listen to the words of what he's saying, because he's been through it, all you're going to be saying is, well, you know what I mean? I should have paid attention unto this. Verse 13.
Verse 13, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me.
And that's what they're going to say. You're going to know, you know what? I should have paid attention unto my teachers, not inclined my ear to them that instructed me. From there, we're going to go back to this book. Give me Proverbs 6 and 20.
Proverbs 6 and 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
So now, while growing up, you know, obviously now it don't happen, but back then, the kids, they was taught the laws, they were taught out the first 5 books. Read on.
Verse 21. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck.
Mm-hmm.
And when thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awake, it shall talk with thee.
There's some meaning. When thou goest, it's going to lead you. So now, anywhere you're going, you're going to know what not to do. You'll know what to do and what not to do according to the commandments. And when thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. So now, when you sleep, you know what I mean? Because you're following the laws of God, that's what's going to protect you. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. Like, I can't speak for everyone else, but when that you read a chapter in the Bible and you walk in, it's in your head like, okay, so that's what you mean. That's what you know what I mean. That's what you mean. This is what I can do. This is what I can't. When you read as the law, saying that always keep this law with you, so that when you walk, we'll even talk with you as well. Verse 23.
Verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instruction are the way of life,
Mm-hmm.
to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman.
So again, what he said in chapter 5, in chapter 6, he's expounding on it even some more, saying that if you keep these commandments, it will keep you from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. So now, when you're trying to flatter you, by you having these commandments in your mind, you're going to know how to stay away. Verse 25.
Verse 25. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
So now it goes, lust not after her beauty in thy heart. Because of course, in every race, there's some women that look good. But he's saying, don't even lust after it. So you know what I mean? So he's saying, right, even if that Chinese woman does look good, don't even desire her. And goes, what do I thought say? Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. So I mean, so when she's looking at you like she probably likes you, reject that too. Read on.
For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
Can anyone break down verse 26? I read that again.
For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
So meaning that woman who's a stranger, usually she's a whore. Why? Because you think she's the only one that wants. I mean, you may think she only wants you, but how many people has she been with before she came across you? Or you know what I mean? Or how many people are gonna be after you? Many so-called white women that may date a black celebrity or a black man who's got a good job. If you do the research, he wasn't the first and he's not the last. So by a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, meaning he was rich, he was great, and now he's poor. She's got half of his money. Then if you have kids with her too, you know the same. Well, the kid needs to be looked after. He needs 20 grand a month, which I don't know any kid that needs that much. And then what? That man, he's brought to a piece of bread. Everyone understand? Read on.
And the adulteress will haunt for the precious life.
And they're 9 times out of 10, they're seeing other dumb black men on the side too. So she's an adulteress. I will hunt for the precious life. Now, what is the precious life part on about?
Your life.
Yeah, because one thing too, a lot of so-called people that may want a black man or a Hispanic man, they don't want the one that tries to impress them. They want the one that they can't get. If they see you looking black and you're comfortable in your skin, you're comfortable dealing with your own, you're the precious life, you're following the law, statutes, and commandments. They're the ones that they usually try to get with the coon whose hair's bald, no beard on his face. They've already got him, but they want the one that they can't get, if everyone understands. All right, so from there, back to Proverbs 5 and 13.
Proverbs 5 and 13. And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly.
So now King Solomon is talking about his time, meaning while he was amongst us, he was in all wickedness, he was serving all of their gods. He was in Tyre serving this god, in the land of Zidon serving this god. So he's telling us like, I was doing all kinds of wickedness. Read on.
Verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well.
So now he's using this as an analogy to stick to your own. So now a cistern is a pot. So now drink waters out of your own pot. Read on.
Verse 16. Let thy fountain be Sakya. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the street.
Saying once you with your own, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, meaning have kids. You know what I mean? You deal with yours, and the rivers of water in the street. Read on.
Let them be thy own and not strangers.
There, so let that woman be of your own and not strangers with thee. So you should not have no stranger with you. You're a so-called black man, Hispanic man, native and a Indian man. You know what I mean? You have a woman, so-called black woman, Hispanic woman, native and a Indian woman as well. Let it be with your own and no stranger with thee. Read on.
Verse 18. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
So now the woman of your fountain, that's the wife of your youth. So meaning the women around you that you grow up with, they're the women that you're supposed to take. If you understand, right? Verse 19. Is it?
Verse 19. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe.
So now you're supposed to love her. So let her be as the loving hind and the pleasant roe. You're supposed to love her. You know what I mean? You're supposed to look at her and be attracted onto her. So now have in mind, King Solomon, he's been through all this, and this is the end result. This is what he's got to say unto us. Read on.
Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love.
There, so you don't get love for no one else. The woman of your kindred, you let her breast satisfy thee every time, and be thou ravished always with her love. So meaning, anytime you want love, you don't have to go to anybody else. You have your your own. There's so many black and Hispanic girls out there. Why do you need to go to anyone else? So you leave all that to go jump into somebody else's group. It doesn't make any sense. Read on.
Verse 20, and why will thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman?
So now, have in mind, King Solomon, he's been there and he's done it all. And he said what? Verse 20 again.
And why will thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman?
So meaning, why would you want to sleep with a strange girl that's not of your people? Why would you want to do that? You can have your own woman, but yet you want to be ravishing a woman that ain't yours. Some cold white skin and some thin brown hair all over your bed. Like, why would you want to even have that experience when you have your own? But read on.
And embrace the bosom of a stranger.
Alright, so what's that part saying?
So why would you welcome a stranger?
Yeah, why would you welcome him? Like, I don't know how people do it. Like, I've had friends that, you know, they're basically white girls know that, and they broke up, and I've spoken to them about it. I'd like to know, you know what I mean? Like, so what made you even think about that? And they said it to go, majority of the time, the reason why they broke up is because they can't relate. They go to their house, their white dad's there, the white mom is there. The house ain't got the same vibe as if you go to a black family's house. So, you know, like a lot of that, they can't even relate. So why would you embrace the bosom of a stranger? You and them can't relate. You ain't got nothing to even talk about. A lot of interracial relationships is lost. Many people go watching pornography and all that stuff. So they see probably the white girl doing some things that they can only imagine. So a lot of it, they make the lust think, yeah, we can have a relationship, but deep down, you and them can't relate onto each other. And you know, eventually, with a lot of these so-called relationships, they end up in divorce, or you know, them just breaking up. All right, so where we at? Proverbs 5:19. All right. Yeah, from there, give me Songs of Solomon 4 and verse 9.
I don't know.
Songs of Solomon, the 4th chapter, verse 9.
Songs of Solomon 4 and 9. Thou hast ravished my heart, my sister, my spouse.
His what?
My sister, my spouse.
So your spouse is supposed to be your sister. Now, obviously, not your family sister. You're talking about as a whole nationality. So you know what I mean? So your spouse is meant to be of your own. Read on.
My sister, my spouse. Thou hast ravished my heart with one of thine eyes, with one chain of thy neck.
So now he's looking at her and he likes her, and this is how it's supposed to be. You know, once you get the brainwashing off you, you're supposed to look at that black woman, that Hispanic woman, and go, you know what I mean? She's looking good. You're not supposed to be looking at someone else, you know what I mean, thinking that way. Of course, there's nice people in every race, but that lust and that love, that way is only meant to be unto your people only. Read on.
Verse 10. How fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse. How much better is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointments than all spices.
There, so now the love of a so-called black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, that love right there is very precious. That's what he's on about, and that love needs to be kept unto us. When we're in the right frame of mind and they work together, a lot can get done. She can encourage that man, and that man, once he knows how to protect his wife and his kids, you know, he's the most courageous man out there. So now, you know, with this love, it is a very precious thing, but we got to stop giving it unto everybody else. Read on.
Verse 11. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as a honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon.
There, so you know, so he likes a woman that much. He's even writing a song, so he's saying, "Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as honeycomb. So the words that probably she's dropping onto him, you know what I mean? He likes the sound of it, but this is only meant to be done amongst us. It shouldn't be with anyone else. So when a stranger trying to drop some nice words onto you, have in mind you're not supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? The only thing you and a stranger should be talking about is what's the time? Is this the bus that goes in town, and just like common things like that. You and them should not be talking about no relationships and no flirting and things of that kind of stuff. From there, all right, yeah. So now we've gone a few. So now we hit a few scriptures on interracial relationships around, but why would you want to go with anybody else when we have the best looking women out there? Like, as you see, like, I mean, for those that probably don't live in a black community, I mean, everywhere you go, all you see is nice black and Hispanic women. So why would you want to go anywhere else? And also, this is found in the Bible also. Well, from there, give me in the Apocrypha, Judith chapter 10 and verse 4. So now, with Judith, she's an example. Yeah, yeah, book of Judith, chapter 10 and verse 4.
Judith 10 and 4. And she took sandals upon her feet and put about her bracelets and her chains and her rings and her earrings and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men.
All right. So for those that haven't read the book of Judith before, the Babylonians, they basically encamped around us and we didn't have any might in our hands. So she thought of a plan to where she can see the captain and then, she would execute her plan now. At this time, she didn't tell everyone what like she was going to do. So now a part of her plan to get to this captain was to dress good so that she can actually get close to him so that she can actually talk to this captain. From there, skip to verse 10.
Verse 10. And when they had done so, Judith went out, she and her maid with her, and the men of the city looked after her until she was gone down the mountain, until she had passed the valley and could see her no more.
Mm-hmm.
Thus they went straight forth in the valley, and the first watch of the Assyrians met her.
So now those nations that was encamping around us, they actually seen her. Read on.
Verse 12. And took her and asked her, of what people art thou, and whence comest thou, and whither thou goest? And she said, I am a woman of the Hebrews, and am fled from them, for they shall be given you to be consumed.
So now her excuse for not being around the other Jews was that they're gonna be consumed. So that's the reason why I'm going with you. Read on.
Verse 13. And I am coming before Holofernes, Holofernes, the chief captain of your army, to declare words of truth, and show him a way whereby he shall go and win all the country without losing the body or life of one of his men.
So remember I said she's trying to get to the captain. So she's pretending like, well, I need to talk to him. I can basically I can let him know of a ruse which he can take where not one of his men will die. Read on.
Verse 14. Now when the men heard her words and beheld her countenance, they wondered greatly at her beauty.
They do what?
Wondered greatly at her beauty.
Now she's gonna order men and they're wondering greatly at her beauty. So now all women look good. Like, why would you have to go anywhere else? But it don't just stop there. As you read on, it'll explain it a little bit more. We read on.
And said unto her, thou hast saved thy life, in that thou hast hasted to come down to the presence of our Lord. Now therefore come to his tent, and some of us shall conduct thee until they have delivered thee to his hand.
So now, so based now with some of his guards, they're gonna watch over her till this man Holofernes comes in. Verse 17, is it 16?
16. And when thou standest before him, be not afraid in thy heart, but show unto him according to thy word, and he will entreat thee well. Then they chose out of them 100 men to accompany her and her maid, and they brought her into the tent of Holofernes. Then there was a concourse throughout all the camp, for her coming was noised among the tents, and they came about her as she stood without the tent of Holofernes, till they told her of her, till they told him of her.
Yeah, read on verse 19. Is keeper.
And they wondered at her beauty, and admired the children of Israel because of her beauty.
They do what?
Admired the children of Israel because of her beauty.
So she looks so good in this camp with all these people. Everyone's talking about her, and they admired all the Israelites because of her beauty. So that she looked that good that they're like, Israelites got women like this. So now, why would a so-called black man, Hispanic man, need to go anywhere else where this whole camp of Assyrians and Babylonians, they're looking at us like they got a woman that looks like in this, or what does that mean? Our women looks way better than theirs, or basically if they did not, they wouldn't care. So mean what? Our women are the best looking women out there, hands down. But anyway, read on.
And everyone said to his neighbor, who would despise this people?
Now, because they saw her, they're like, who would despise this people? How can you hate them? And they got girls that look that good. They're like, why would anyone want to like hate a nation of people like that? Their girls look good. You got something?
Yeah, it's like it's basically saying like, how could you come against such a nation with that woman that look like this?
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, once you've seen her, they're ready for war. It's like they've had a change of heart. Like, do we want to fight? They got women in there looking like that. Like, do I really want to throw like a bomb in there and destroy them? Like, I don't want to do that. So like the whole camp around them started to have a little change of heart. Read on.
That have among them such women, surely it is not good that one man of them be left.
So now they're saying, surely it's good that not one man of them be left. Because why? If you kill the men, then they can take all the girls. So now their mindset is, well, we might have to just like execute all of these men. Like if they got like if we seen her and she's an example, the rest of them in there, if they look that good, then we need to get rid of all of these men. And even today, like examples, you what they try to do, they try to promote a white woman looking all good, but every time a black woman comes around and just like she just basically shows them what's up. Like for instance, Beyonce, if I'm correct, at one point she was ranked the #1 beautiful woman in the world.
Correct.
And not just her, like in many cases in the 80s, 70s, many times black and Hispanic women have been ranked the #1 beautiful woman in the world. So our people do look good. You know what I mean? It's no matter what the white woman may try, lip injections, Botoxes, nevertheless, our women have it naturally. Read on.
Who being let go might deceive the whole earth, and they that lay near Holofernes went out, and all his servants, and they brought her into his tent.
So then afterwards they brought her into the tent. But the point I'm making is they liked her so much that they were gonna war with us, but they even had a change of heart. Like they got you know what I mean? Like if she's looking good, the women in there must be just as good. Like, do we really want to have awarded people? So showing that all women look that good that basically with this whole camp, they was even talking between themselves, saying like these Israelite women are these Israelite women look really good. So why would we want to be going somewhere else if we got the best looking women on the face of the earth? Doesn't make no sense. Another example of another woman, Esther 2 and verse 16.
Esther 2, verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house. It's like into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
Mm-hmm.
And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins.
So now, with this king, for those that haven't read the book of Esther before, the king, his first wife, Vashti, he disrespected him. So now, we let his wise men around him to go, well, you need to have a little tournament where, you find you another wife because, it looks bad on your behalf. Now, with Esther, she also joined in and she won. And as you can see, the king loved her above everybody else. Now, for those that don't know, Esther was from the tribe of Benjamin, and you know what I mean. So she was a nice looking Benjamin. And look, basically, the king loved her more than anybody else. Now, he had probably many nations, but nevertheless, Esther, overcame them all, and that's all.
Yeah, even all the black women that are celebrities and stuff that look good, that people look up to, they didn't always look that way. They came, if you do their background, they always came from the ghetto. So even being low, they had potential to make it. You know what I mean? Like, even though they was born in the ghetto and so forth, they still, like, Hollywood could see the potential and the beauty that they still had, gave them a shot, and now they're who they are today. I mean, the point I'm making is that even though we're poor and a bottom, we still look beautiful.
That's right. So it's true, like it's something that everybody else can see, but the people that have those blessings, they can't see. All right, from there, give me wisdom of Solomon 4 and 12. Because now some people may be saying, well, if you're going through all this, why would someone, consider an interracial relationship? Well, wisdom of Solomon 4 and 12, it explains this. Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 12. For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest.
So now, many people that probably are lusting after white women or in a marriage with a white woman, what did the Bible say?
For the bewitching of naughtiness.
So for the tricking of naughtiness. So now, in your mind, you're thinking something perverse, or you got some carnal desire that you want redone.
Doth obscure things that are honest.
So to obscure is to like rub away. So it does change things that are honest. Now you know in your mind, the honest thing is you and that white girl, you don't really get along. You know really, you can't really, really, you being around her family is not something that you want. You actually even being seen walking down the road with her is something you don't want. But because of your naughtiness, you obscure the things that are honest. So you go, nah, I can survive, and you know what? I'm willing to fight against that because many people that do date a white woman, as soon as they see you, what's the first thing they do? They walk in front of them, or they break the hand connection that they have with them. Like they don't want to be seen with them. So really, honestly, they know what they're doing is wrong, but because of the naughtiness that they desire, they're willing to go through all that. So does everyone understand that scripture? Continue reading a bit more in that.
And the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple.
So concupiscence is a sinful desire. So the wandering, so when your mind is thinking of a wrong desire, does undermine the simple mind. So when you're not thinking straight, that sinful desire, it can make you think, yeah, what I'm doing is right, and really deep down, you know it's wrong. What you want to do just fulfill a desire. certain people, they hear the rumors about, a so-called white girl or something that they do this and that. So they're like, nah, you know what? I can actually be with one of them. Really, you know that you can't. You men don't have anything in common, nothing to agree with. A lot of it is just lust, and that's what it comes down to. Like in 1992 or around there, who remembers on BBC One that talk show Kilroy?
Yeah, cuz.
Now they done a show on interracial dating. I think in the 90s it was very big. So they had a white woman there, black men there, white men there that looked very upset because many of the white women they was going with black men. And if you watch the whole show, I think you can watch it on YouTube as well. All of it was lost. They were saying I like a black man because he's strong, he works hard to get a house. It was all lost. That chocolate skin and that reggae music and how he winds his hips. So that like basically, if you watch it, no one is talking about they like a so-called black man for anything good. All of it is just a concupiscence. It's all a sinful desire. The same way when the black man's talking, yeah, because white girl, the more innovative a black woman, she wouldn't do this and that. And you know what I mean? Like watching the whole show, that's what it was all about. Till I think halfway through, a black man who likes black girls, he said it goes, not being funny. I've been here for like a very long time, and from what I'm seeing about interracial relationships, all what everyone is talking about is mainly sex. And then now the white men in the crowd collapse because obviously they're losing all of their girls, so they was a bit upset. And then, but really, if you watch the whole show, I think it's on YouTube right now as well. What the man said, it was right. All of it was lost. They wasn't together out of I think he's a strong man. He can raise kids well. Nothing. All of it just came down to lust and people sleeping t- together. So this scripture that I've handed out here, this is basically what it is all about. Could you just read that one more time?
Con. Wisdom of Solomon 4:12. For the bewitching of naughtiness does obscure things that are honest,
Mm-hmm.
and and the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind.
So a simple desire, it can take over a simple mind. So when you have a dumb mind, that sinful desire, that concupiscence, that can actually control your mind because that's what you're thinking about. That's what this and that. I know really I shouldn't be with her, but I want this, and then what I mean. Basically, so that's what a lot of interracial relationships are. Give me Colossians 3:5. So about this concupiscence, Paul also spoke about this too.
That's your phone.
Yeah, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5.
Colossians 3:5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
So now the Bible is saying, strengthen therefore your members which are upon the earth. So your mind, your hands, your private part, strengthen it to stay away from sin. Read on.
Fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence,
And what?
evil concupiscence,
And they're so evil, sinful desires. So interracial relationships falls into concupiscence. Read on.
and covetousness, which is idolatry,
Verse 6.
for which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience.
And those of disobedience are, that's also, so if you're doing fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, for these things, that's why the wrath of the Most High is upon you. So you having that concupiscence, that's wrong, and that's not how any black man or Hispanic man is supposed to be. All right, let's go right. Give me first Ezra 8:69.
First Ezra 8:69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollution of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, Edomites, for both they and their sons have married with their daughters.
Now this is another time where they were marrying the Egyptians' daughters, Canaanites, Jebusites, Hittites. So now the prophet Ezra, he's talking about like after all what we've been through, we still haven't put these things away. So Ramos, read on.
And the holy seed is mixed with strangers, strange people. And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
So it wasn't just the common man, meaning the people that was great too. So a great ruler, like someone that was probably a prince, he was also doing this. Skip to verse 84.
Verse 84. Therefore, now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
Now, what does that let you know?
It's just business. It's like back in them days, we used to just exchange like wood and stuff for certain raw textiles, but no peace. Like they can't come to your land and live and set up businesses like what you see the Chinaman doing in Jamaica and so forth. No peace, just strictly business.
That's right. But also like relating that to the verse above. So you don't take their daughters, you don't give your daughters to them. Moreover, you should not seek their peace with them. Now, some people, they believe getting a white girl where it makes their life not as hard, meaning they can get a better job. So they want peace with the so-called white man. In their mind, they think, well, if I kind of bow down a bit, it makes my life not as bad. And you're seeking their peace. But God saying, no, you stick to the law, statutes, and commandments. Don't be trying to seek their peace. And about also doing trade with them. It's true. You mean ain't nothing wrong if you exchange some wood with an Ammonite or anything. But as far as you giving them your daughter or you taking one of their daughters, that's not right. But of course, commerce and them things, that's all right. Read on.
Verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong.
And we may be what?
That ye may be strong.
That ye may be strong. Now, like a lot of times when someone says a racist comment, why do black people get so weak and afraid?
Because they don't offend all their white friends and their white women. And
that's right. So they're not strong because if you join onto anyone else, your people are strong. Now, if you're strong, someone says a racist black comment, you respond back. You don't care about the white people around you because you're strong in your people. But when you're not strong in your people, you kind of just have to just take it on the chin like, well, I got a white girl at home. If I say that, then I can't really go back. So they become very weak and they don't become really strong. Read on.
And eat the good things of the land, and that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children forevermore.
And there in that, by you sticking to your own, you have something to hand down onto your kids. Now, if you're always with white girls and Chinese girls, they get in all your riches, and your kids don't have anything. Well, when it's all done with. From there, give me Proverbs 14 and 34.
Proverbs
14 and 34. So now, some people may say, well, I find it hard to deal with the so-called black woman or the black Hispanic woman, Hispanic man. But with all that we have, then if we want to be back on top, we have to first submit ourselves to law, statutes, and commandments, and then this is what's going to raise us up where we can deal with each other much better. And we got that Proverbs 14 and 34.
Proverbs 14 and 34. Righteousness exalteth a nation.
Yeah, now as you can see, we are a nation of people, but you know, we hate one another. The woman can't get on with the man. But the Bible says what?
Righteousness exalteth a nation.
So these laws, statutes, and commandments, this is what's gonna raise us up. You know what I mean? This is gonna fix the man and the woman as well, where our people don't ever have to think in their mind that they need to go out of their own to find happiness somewhere else. And read on.
But sin is a reproach to any people.
Yeah, but sin is a reproach is a castaway. So sin is a castaway to any people. So when we sin, we cast away on what? We don't like each other. We don't get lifted up as a people. Why? Because we are the only people that have ever received the laws of God. From there, I'm gonna give like this one scripture for the men and one for a woman, so that you know that basically we can't go nowhere else. So the only thing you can do is fix them. Same way as a man, he needs to fix that black woman, that Hispanic woman, and the woman, she needs to work with that black man and that Hispanic man too. So for the men, give me Ecclesiasticus, the 7th chapter, verse 26. Ecclesiasticus 7 and 26.
Ecclesiasticus 7 and 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind?
So now that's a question. Has that a wife after thy mind? So have you got a woman that you want to be your wife? How you want her to be? Is she after your mind? Read on.
Forsake her not.
Forsake her not meaning you find a woman that's good and she after your mind. Forsake her not meaning don't throw her away or don't ditch her for anybody else. But read on.
But give not thyself over to a light woman.
Does anyone know what light means?
Foolish.
Foolish, dumb. Now, men, the problem we have is we like whores, and that's what's destroying us. Because if most black and Hispanic men they're like whores, then a woman that isn't, what is she gonna do? She's going to become a whore, or basically she wants to become one so that she can get the attention of men. And the problem we do is we give ourselves over to dumb women that can't cook, can't clean, don't have anything in their mind good, nothing they can talk about. So now, one step is that once you're in the Bible, you need a woman after your mind, and by doing that, you mean a woman that probably is living a life against the Bible. If no man ain't running her down, by default, what is she gonna do?
She's gonna start wearing skimpy clothes just to get that attention and stuff, and become a whore. And initially, she's a good woman.
No, I was saying it in reverse. Like,
so
if we start to fix them and you mean make them dress right, make them think right, you mean then basically turn them to a woman that like the Most High wants them then to be a woman that is a whore, that does wear those skimpy clothes. By default, what is she gonna do?
Oh, she would do that. She would change. If we give all attention to the good women, then all the whores would be good women in order to get a man.
That's right, because that's what love is. The reason why women do these things is to get the attention of men. But if we change, then basically by default they're going to have to as well. Now, a scripture for the women. Give me Proverbs 12 and 8.
Proverbs 12 and 8. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom.
So the Bible says, a man shall be commended according to his wisdom. So a woman is meant to like a wise man. Now, of course, looks do play a part. No one wants a wise, ugly man. I mean, it's just the way of life. But you know, also they should be looking for a wise man. A lot of them look for men with nice cars and or something like the guy that does sell drugs and all that. But the Bible says a man shall be commended according to his wisdom. So also with her, she should like a man that is wise. He can instruct her, tell her what's right from wrong, what to do, how to sort out the bills and all that. And read on.
But he that is of a perverse heart shall be dispersed.
Yeah, despised.
Despised.
Now, a man is of a perverse mind, of a wicked mind, he shall be despised. So that man that perverse, got no respect for women or that, he shall be despised, meaning he's not gonna be liked. That's how it's supposed to be. So that's the clash. Anyone got any question line or anyone has anything?
Nah.
I know. So then with that, we get to the announcements and the prayers as well.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. With the I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will call each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, Hakanaka.
It's the December the 5th.
December the 5th. All Akram and Akrafs check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or headscarf. I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer.
Rise and face the east.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malach Pavka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabab Wafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabab Wafinawa, Wala'a, Tabaya'inawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Waha Tapara, La'aiwalamya,
Amen. And in English. Our
Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray for the power. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Baba Kusha, Nathanawa, Haka, Lara Pa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Haka, Lataha, Hamatazarayim, Haka, Lahakwayam, Hamafiam, Haka, Arakawa, Hatama Allah, Lagarashan, Bahashem Yahawashi, the water Aman, and in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahawashi, please give us the power, the power to heal all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahawashi, thank you, so be it.
And the blessings, Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wa Allah Hayam,
Wa Allah Hayam,
Mataz Abiyah,
Tata Zabi'ah,
I.S.U.P.K Hana,
I.S.U.P.K,
Ha Alawapyam,
Ha Alawapyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Kwatazayanyam,
Ha Kwatazayelyam,
Ha Kayayalyam,
Ha Kaliyelyam,
Wa Akwatyam,
Wa Akwapyam,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai,
Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai,
the Wada Aman,
Wada Aman. And in the English, bless you Yahweh,
bless you Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shai,
and I.S.U.P.K,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
Commanding General Yohanna,
Commanding General
the
Yohanna,
generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
and
the sisters,
and the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
so be it. And the curses, blessed are you Yahweh,
Blessed are you Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living,
and all things living,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now,
right now,
send evils and curses,
and evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction,
and punishments and destruction,
and death to the heathen
and death to the heathen
that speak against us,
that speak against us,
thy prophets,
the
teachers,
teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite
the
brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and the school,
and the school,
send evils and curses,
and evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction,
and punishments and destruction,
and death to the heathen,
and death to the heathen,
and shake loose the pockets of the rich
shake loose the pockets of the rich
of Israel
that
refuse to give to the school,
refuse to give to the school,
force their riches
to
enter into thy sanctuary,
enter into thy sanctuary,
send evils and curses,
send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction,
and punishments and destruction,
and death to the Edomites,
and death to the Edomites,
and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift death to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy, cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathen that come up against us. As we speak thy word, cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always. So be it. Bless Israel. Yahweh. Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. Barakanawa. Wa Yasha Allah. Wahabayah. Sapayam. Barak Rapah. Magan Hagan.
Commanding General
Yohanna.
General Mahayaman,
General Mayak,
General Hazayan,
General
Anya Shauma,
all
the captains of the I.S.U.P.K, Captain Mashap Mayam,
Captain
Captain Kobalama,
Captain
Captain Kathongabar,
Captain
Captain Nayata,
Captain Nayata,
all the officers of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the officers of the I.S.U.P.K,
Officer Katada,
Officer Carter,
Officer Zakar,
Officer Zakar,
Officer Tawagabar,
Officer Tawagabar,
Officer Regaya,
Officer Regaya,
Officer Gadayawan,
Officer
and
Gadayawan,
Officer Gadaha,
and Officer Gadaha,
all the troopers of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the troopers of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the sisters of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the sisters of the I.S.U.P.K,
the Gordon family,
the Gordon
the
family,
Bennett family,
the Bennett family,
the George family,
the George family,
Karafia,
Karafia,
Dungabar,
Dungabar,
Yapa,
Yapa,
Nakapaya,
Nakapaya,
that's it.
Commanding General Yohanna,
Commanding General Yohanna,
all the generals,
all the generals,
all the captains,
all the captains,
all the officers,
all the officers,
all the troopers,
all the troopers,
all the sisters of Israel,
all the sisters of Israel,
all of Israel,
all of Israel,
and all the brothers going to camp today,
and all the brothers going to camp today,
all the generals,
all the generals,
all the captains,
all the captains,
all the officers,
all the officers,
all the troopers,
all the troopers,
all the sisters,
all the sisters,
Officer Parashia,
Officer Parashia,
Officer Karafia,
Officer Karafia,
Officer Dongabar,
Officer Dungabar,
Nakapaya,
Nakapaya,
Lasimba,
Lasimba,
the Gordon family,
the Gordon family,
the George family,
the George family,
Not all Israel.
all Israel,
And those that go in camp today.
and all going to camp today,
All going to camp today.
all going to camp today,
And all of Israel.
and all of Israel. By Hashem Yahushai,
by Hashem Yahushai,
the Wada Aman,
the Wada Aman,
and what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Jesus, thank you. So be it.
that catastrophe.